The Moon and Mercury. These two worlds, one our satellite, the other the innermost terrestrial planet, share many similarities. Okay, that's kind of dramatic. But basically, they're saying that the Moon and Mercury are very, very similar. We've already learned about the Moon, so pretty much anything you learned about the Moon, you can kind of go over to Mercury, at least surface-wise. Right? This looks like a picture of the Moon. It's not. It's a picture of Mercury. All right, so studying the planets, Mercury is actually kind of a hard one to study. Um, if you look at it through a telescope, it's like looking at the moon with just your naked eye. Just walking outside and looking at the moon. That's about how clearly you can see Mercury with a telescope. So, usually one of the first things we like to do with planets is determine its rotation. Its spin on the axis, right? Well, if that is your picture of Mercury, and if you see the picture there, there's nothing that you'd be like, okay, I see this giant crater and I can watch it go around as it's spinning. So it kind of made it really hard to study. So they thought that Mercury rotated on its axis and orbit in the exact same time, 88 days. So on Mercury, they thought one day was 1 year. Its orbit it rotates and revolves both at 88 days. So they thought that's how it worked. Turns out not. Once technology got better, we were able to use radar, right, Doppler, to figure out the spin of Mercury, or the rotating. So and we were able to see just how fast, and that it is in fact rotating, right? Because we had blue shift and red shift. So one side was approaching us, one side was spinning away from us. So it was indeed rotating. So we figured out Mercury rotates on its axis every 59 days. But that's not what's really interesting about Mercury. Its revolution is really interesting about Mercury, combined with the rotation. So if you are on Mercury facing the sun, you will not face that sun for another 2 years. And there's a little picture from your textbook. I have this blown up I think the next slide. But you can see we're starting out day 0, pointing directly at the sun. So we're the little arrow. And so it starts revolving and rotating. And when it's on the other side, you're pointing straight up, so you can't see the sun anymore. And then you go to the second picture, and day 88, you're pointing away from the sun. So you've went around the sun once, but now you're pointing away from the sun, so you can't see it. So you rotate, and day 132, you're looking down. And then finally at day 176, you're looking at the sun again. So very strange. So this is the little animation, and you'll see it when you hit play. Yours supposedly the black dot, and you'll see it go around and then around again. I haven't quite figured out how to make it work where I can talk on top of the animation, but it's an interesting little video. It's not super exciting, but it is kind of interesting to watch. All right, so here's those little pictures blown up for you. So day 0, you can see you're facing the sun. Day 44, you're facing up. Day 88, you're facing away. Day 132, you're facing down. And then day 176, you finally facing the sun again.